Hello, and let's take a look at some of these E-Dragon attacks. And while we're doing that, I'm going to talk a little bit about the upcoming series that I'm going to be doing. I am going to be pushing for an entire season. Now, it may seem pretty normal to most of you, but in all honesty, I haven't pushed a full season in about 3 years. And I'm a 30-year-old dad, so this is going to be pretty brutal. I have a feeling there's going to be some pretty bad days. We hope we'll get some laughs from it, hopefully. But we're going to give it a try. We're going to see what happens, and hopefully I do not disappoint. My goal, probably to get close to the top 1,000. I don't think that's going to happen, but we're going to aim high, and hopefully we land pretty close. So without further ado, here are the E-Dragon attacks. There's one been playing in the background here. And really, E-Dragons could be very powerful. And so I'm practicing on the final day of the season to hopefully take me into the next season and let me show off a little bit about what I can do. But we'll see. It could be a disaster with a new update coming as well. It's going to be a little bit in flux for the beginning, so bear with me for the first few days. I'm going to be getting my recording rhythm in check, trying to see how I can record and when I can do it. So after that, first attack is done. Let's hop in to the second raid. And in the second raid, we're going to be looking at the most important parts of an E-Dragon attack, which is going to be your placement and your start. So I'm starting the queen on the bottom. Why? Because the queen and the king are going to walk down this bottom side. And as you can see, there's not a lot of defenses that are really going to target them hard until the town hall. So they're going to be able to clear out that whole side. I put one E-Dragon up top just to funnel out, and I'm going to drop the Skelly spell on the monolith and a rage. This is a secondary rage that's really going to allow me to funnel my E-Dragons right into the core of the base. Popping an early Warden Tome is also good with the E-Dragons. Unless they're not coming under heavy fire, it's always better to pop them on alive E-Dragons rather than dead E-Dragons. So pop it early. We're going to hold the Prince for a good Prince on the back end here. And we're going to keep toteming for the important defenses and, of course, the long shot. As you can see, I still have the heroes working on the bottom side along with those super minions. And that's really key for this attack because they're going to walk all the way around and actually end up cleaning up this base for me. Heroes are one of the most important and strongest parts of the E-Dragon composition. Keeping them alive is important. You want to make sure you're sending them on a side of the base that isn't too stacked with heavy defenses. You really want to be putting the E-Dragons into those stacked defense compartments. Why is that? Because the E-Dragons do very well with chain, and they take out high hit point and high DPS defenses very quickly. So as you can see with this one, the queen is going to finish it up with the super minions and the E-Dragons. And we'll move on to the next attack. Something else to be mindful of is the minion prince ability. You always want to try and shoot it through the base. I was a little late on my minion prince ability in that attack. You typically want to have it shoot right through the core and distract or freeze all of those very tanky and very high DPS buildings. So again, we're going to start the queen on the bottom using the giant arrow just to pop the invisibility spell. I didn't think I needed to take out one of the air sweepers because my king and queen are going to take one out on the other side. So really there's only going to be one fighting my E-Dragons the entire time. Toteming for the core, using the rocket loons to take out that backside air defense. Popping an early Warden Tome again. And as you can see, I'm going to rage the core just to get those few E-Dragons through that long shot and town hall and the revenge tower compartment. They're going to move into that invis compartment, which they're going to end up getting distracted and move around because of it. But as you can see, the heroes are still alive on the bottom side. They've taken out all the way from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock, which is super important. And now, on the top side, I still have a huge clump of E-Dragons. They're going to be able to finish off the rest of the base. As you can see as well, I've used all my totems at this point. With E-Dragons, you do want to heavily totem early. you're really looking to distract the entry and the core defenses. The back end, you're really hoping and, I guess, banking on having enough troops left to be able to take out those necessary defenses. So as you can see here, I think I have 4 E-Dragons. The Minion Prince just went down to a Seeking Air Mine and the Warden. So a pretty good cleanup attack. Got a lot of troops left. I wouldn't say it's overkill, but it definitely had some room to wiggle. Moving into the final attack for today, we're going to be doing another E-Dragon attack, of course, just practicing for the push. In another similar type base, we're going to do almost the exact same plan. We're going to use the E-Dragons on the bottom, and I'm going to make sure I totem early to block that air defense, just so I can get a little bit of funneling on the bottom side. You'll see I like to use a rage early and to help my funnel, because really the most important part of the attack is getting the E-Dragons to funnel where you need them to go. I drop the queen, shoot the giant arrow again through the core, not really worrying about the sweepers, but more so worrying about that invis tower. So as you can see, early rage again. I've used both my rages basically within the first 30 seconds of the raid and on the very outside of the core. Why? Because they're going through high DPS pinch points. You want to make sure you get your E-Dragons through those points and onto the back end of the base. Early Eternal Tome. I still have my Minion Prince ability, and I should be popping it right now. I'm a little late. I should be popping it so that it goes right through that Revenge Tower that's currently wrecking my E-Dragons. I end up popping it late and actually missed the Revenge Tower altogether. Not good gameplay. Gonna have to work on that. But luckily with this attack, there is a little bit of power to play with, and sometimes mistakes like that can be covered up just by how strong the E-Dragons are. So as this finishes, like I said, I'm going to be doing a series on pushing. I'm going to be maybe a day or two late on the post, so you'll be seeing my attacks from a day or two earlier. I'll try and post all my attacks, so that includes the fails, which there's going to be plenty, and just walk through what I could have done better. That's the end of the video. I will see you guys in a few days.